be.
There will be. Murphy's still working on it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Outdoor pool / recreation. I didn't ask Jackie to stick around. So
What
this is
page are you
page,
on?
sorry,
What is it?
29 and 30.
39, you are.
So 29 is outdoor pool. The changes on this, utilities got bumped up because utilities are getting more expensive. Anyways, when they jumped up that bunch last year, we didn't get that all accounted for in last year's budget. So those were increased. And then wages also were increased for the lifeguards. I know they've struggled with filling those positions the past few years and trying to be more competitive with wages on that. So we did increase that. Revenue's been down the last few years, so we reduced that down some to try to be more in line with where we've been.
And she said the revenue was partially down because of the closures.
That would be at the indoor. Yeah. So this is purely the outdoor. No capital expenditures noted at the outdoor pool for the second fiscal year. At the YMCA building itself then, they didn't ask for any increase in the contract, so that's staying the same. There are 2 improvements noted. The one is for a heat exchanger at the indoor pool, and then the other one's for one of the boiler pumps for the building up there being replaced. So, I think both of those are things that do need to be done. Any questions on those?
Where are those improvement costs? For the, so that's indoor pool.
Page 30.
Yeah, page 30.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha, okay.
Okay, next one is the Willow Creek Bar and Grill Banquet Hall. Because Jessica kind of has a say in the next 3.
Right, I'm here, I'm good. I didn't ask for anything, so chop chop.
She wants to be like the
I want to be like the library lady this time.
Yeah, so the only request, like she said, she didn't really ask for anything. Tyler out there did request a walk-in freezer for the grill portion of it or whatever. That did get cut and it could be left because they would have to add on to the building and I don't know.
It wouldn't look good.
Yeah, so that was cut. Otherwise, so we're looking at page 31, 33, and 34 are the ones that are Jessica. And like she said, she didn't have any capital requests or anything. Unless you guys have questions.
Coolers are still working okay at convention?
They go out probably at least once a year. We had a repair, I think last fall, on the west section of the upper lever coolers, and we just had AccuCamp back in about a week and a half ago for now repair of the east section of them. So
I think you're good.
good.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Yay!
Okay, Brian. This is page 25.
All right. Looks good. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, so the golf course, they are not an enterprise fund. They used to be an enterprise fund, but depends on the year. Some years they break even, some years they don't. right now they're showing a positive of 4,600 for the budget. So there weren't any cuts made at the committee level. It wasn't requesting a lot of outrageous.
Some years they make money though.
items.
Some years they make money.
Yeah, some years they do.
He said break even.
Yes, for a new torch.
Oh.
Yeah, some years they make real money, so 4,600 is.
I did find it, Dave, so
You
we'll be
found it?
soon.
Okay.
Are you ready, or?
No. Oh, there's snow out there, go ahead. He asked me for a new torch. Or a new what? Torch.
Ready to burn.
You making some creme brulee?
Hopefully we get a little more rain than the last 2 years, so we have a little more time to burn, so. Get the piles cleaned up.
Fill the ponds. Do we have any questions, Brian?
Questions or anything?
Thank you.
All right, perfect.
Glad you stayed.
It's like I could have gone
Next year, you
first.
wanna be at the top.
Okay, I did it by account number, so.
Next
We'll have a lottery next
Sorry.
time.
Next time, figure out the ones that went fast and probably will go fast. Get them out of here.
Senior center needs new partitions.
Senior Center, requested new petitions.
Move that out of the other one. Right, it was under.
So it was in Brad's budget, we moved it to this budget.
Pretty rowdy in there and bust down the old ones. or-
No, they're just getting old and rusty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cruddy.
Pinochle games are crazy, and then I just can't get
Start leaning on them.
kick one down.
Okay.
Okay, community development, so that's Mark's from,
Well, this is way higher.
New
this
guy.
one is.
Oh, right, we have overlap. Community development. Let's see.
That's, so it's higher because, obviously we brought Mark on, we have 2 people under this department now, not just one. Contract services, Iowa codification is our code updates now, and it hadn't really got reflected good in the budget since we brought them on to kind of do annual. They're supposed to update it as there's changes to Iowa law, and then also as we have changes. So I believe that's why that jumped up part of it. I think maybe also contracts for snow removal and grass mowing and stuff have been lower because we've had milder kinds, but who knows, if you had a bad summer, bad winter.
I would assume the fiscal year to date's so high because this is the year we updated all the codes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, Mark?
I mean, if you wanted to cut $1,000 to machinery and equipment, that line, Greg always put in there, but.
You got a new guy started named Luke, he might need some stuff, so
Okay,
I wouldn't do that.
okay.
You're in the honeymoon mood.
Get up there and argue it, Luke. Get up there and
Okay.
argue.
I don't know what I don't eat.
He wants his
Our
own
fire
stapler.
chief is making the budget.
He's gonna get his own white helmet.
His own stapler.
Yeah, you need a hard hat.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think they've got anything for him. Okay.
alright.
Thank you. Everybody's getting a buy. City council.
Council, fireworks display got increased a little bit, from 9,000 to 12,000. Maybe look at doing something a little more for the 4th of July. So,
But it won't affect
that was,
this year.
that was a committee request.
And that's fine, they actually, J&M just sent me the new contract, they're not doing the multi-contracts anymore like we used to
Okay.
do. They're just, since we've been with them 30 years, they're giving us a $12,000 show for $9,000 forever.
Okay.
So, that's up to you if you wanna up it, otherwise we actually are getting the $12,000 for 9, because we've been a multi-contract.
It wasn't my request.
No, I'm just saying, so
So
that's up
can we
to-
can we get 15 for 12?
Probably.
Well, the reason it was brought up is because of what I would consider consider, and I think the committee was on board with it, negative reviews of last year's fireworks display was subpar compared to what the previous years have been. So, am I right?
Yep.
So, we thought of upping it, so I'm with Jason on that, is, yeah, can we get more for more?
Absolutely.
Because I'm not an attender, I don't do fireworks.
Like it not to, but I have to.
Yeah, well, if you just go out west of Mar, or somewhere and just sit and watch the skyline.
There you go.
But anyway, that's why that number was increased. Cheers for the conference room, I struggle with that a little bit.
Just trying to update stuff.
But I know we've talked about a facelift here. We've talked about a facelift in here.
Oh, well, yeah.
You can get new chairs in here and put these
We're
ones in.
taking the French themed wallpaper down in City Hall. Bricks are staying though, which one?
Bricks are staying. And I think the French theme can stay, the bricks can go. I don't care.
It's up to you.
No, just.
I think our conference room looks like crap, in my opinion, but.
Just gets people out of there faster.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. Have we made any headway?
They've shifted a couple of ways things are paid
Paid
for,
for.
maybe helped us out a little bit, that's about it, right?
You got 93,000 to the good.
Right now?
Yep. 93,385, close somewhere in there.
Well,
With what you guys all just recommended, I mean, first time through.
Right, and is that still with
With three positions
three
or one?
positions?
No, just one, what you recommended.
Okay.
It's 20 on the revenue, cutting 2 full-time, the 2 cars out of sales tax.
take
and,
Jacob's word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Did
mine
you do the
doesn't-
143 for the playground stuff out of loss?
What was ever decided with the tennis courts?
So there wasn't,
We haven't
there
decided.
hasn't
that.
been final decisions
Yeah.
made yet, so I think
Let's keep
we're jumping
moving.
ahead a little bit
No,
here.
I'm just saying,
So,
if you guys,
Um,
I took tennis court out though. I did, so.
okay, so, yeah, so I think we've kind of gone through every single budget now. So then we can kind of go back through the requests, and see where we're at, how you guys want to cut it.
We didn't go through mapping, but I'm good with it as it is, so I'm not.
We didn't go through finance either,
Amen.
Finance, sorry,
yeah, that's
sorry.
good.
Yeah. But I am requesting a new,
Fine.
printer out front,
For
out here.
Oh, that reminds me, I was gonna ask, how come we don't do online billing pay?
Yes. Like they do
Is
just
there a cost for
like an
that?
automated, like,
There would be a cost.
My
There
check,
would be a
my,
cost associated.
my bill automatically comes out of my account every month.
Mhm.
I don't need a bill, just email it to me or whatever, I'll see it when it comes out of my account. Just
We do email bills.
You do?
Mine's emailed to me.
Yeah.
I'll have to sign up for that then.
I don't, I think on the email ones, we can set them up so that we don't send the paper ones.
see, on the other way, I'd like you to get a paper bill,
Angie.
but I'd like to pay it online.
You can pay it online, with the card, but there's a fee.
Probably a $3 convenience fee or something like that.
Is that a percentage?
It's a percentage. Or you can set up for automatic withdrawal.
So if you get an email, it comes in your mail too? Still?
I don't think so. I think if we set you guys up for an email, it doesn't come in your email too.
Should automatically, you should make them have to sign up for a paper one.
To opt out of it.
Yeah.
That's an option.
So many things I have these days do that. Every time you log in, you have to say, quit asking me this. But they still keep asking. A lot of people aren't, would not like to have to do that.
Right.
Legal. Looks like our contract services is way too high.
Finally caught up to my predecessor in my 6th year.
so, I guess going back to some of the things that we discussed and trying to come up with, okay, where are we at? So, I think everybody was good on the 3 loss transfers, so those should be fine. So the 2 for the vehicles and then the 1 for the playground equipment. Was everybody comfortable with increasing the revenue 20,000 in the fire rescue budget?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you wanna do that if you don't have to, for budgeting purposes? That's a question for you.
Looking at this, you might have to though.
I think it's reasonable, I think it's reasonable to
Just for
to increase it.
fund transfers later in the year, whatever makes the next fiscal year easier on our finance.
Yeah, I think it's okay to increase it.
I think if it's a legitimate
I think
increase, then
it's-
increase it, it's a bogus.
Yeah, it's not a shell game.
It makes,
Exactly, it's
it
not a
makes
show
Dave
game.
have to work a little harder to make sure he meets his revenue goals.
There you go.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the general fund reserves at? I don't see that in this book anywhere.
120 days.
So fiscal year 21 audit, we were at 187 days.
180, okay.
So is that the plan, just foreshadowing here, if the state actually passes this rollback thing without the amendment?
That would be my recommendation, would be to use reserves, yes.
So yesterday, Senator Jacoby did implement that amendment, did you see that? To where the cities wouldn't have to pay it this time, they would either write it off or use state emergency funds, but of course, that's gotta go to the floor for debate.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So,
can't believe
I
they'll
think-
implement it this year, I just can't.
Yeah, I
They
think
may
there,
pass it.
I think it depends on, yeah, I don't
The
know
Senate
what
blew it
the-
right through, but the House Ways and Means are fighting it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I think
it'd be
if it,
interesting.
if it goes through and, it is for this fiscal year, I think that's something that we'll discuss at, council, whether it be the next council meeting or the first one in March. And leave it up to council how they want me to handle it.
Well, that's why it's nice to have reserves, I mean,
Yeah.
for
Well, I know
stupid
that,
stuff.
oh, and that,
every-
we did discuss when we sat down that we were gonna wait on that and forget.
Yeah,
when it
so
came
let's
up.
just
So
do
let's
that.
stay on task,
Thank you,
let's,
sir.
let's, go back to what we're cutting.
Okay, so then for cuts, we have the new fire rescue employees, we have the tennis courts, we have I think everybody was in favor of, having the new marquee sign be a CDP project, if we can get that. So then the other cut, was the cemetery cutting 20,000 there.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be the 3 additional cuts. to
Is that all
discuss.
3 of mine, Jacob, or just 2?
So then.
Dave, you had an opportunity to make your presentation, can you just, please, just listen, okay? Until we ask you a question, thank you, we're trying to work through it.
So, that's the discussion now, is, so, okay, is it, you guys wanna cut the tennis court? Redo, do you wanna cut the cemetery 20,000, and then Dave's guys, are you cutting 2? Are you cutting none? Are you cutting 3? What's your guys' final thoughts on
I
that?
hope I'm not the dummies you're gonna ask this, but the tennis court is a $98,000 ask, correct?
So committee cut it down, cause that was really redoing it, and they just did a resurface on it.
So the
it's
number is 40.
40,000, yes.
The number is 4.
Yeah, so it's the cheaper fix. So what we did on the municipal courts this last year was the cheaper fix. Okay, there's a more expensive fix to do something with the cracks.
Okay.
Okay, but that's still only temporary fix. That will only last for so long.
Right.
Okay, so
10,000 a year.
yeah, so his initial 90-something in there was to do the top of the line repair and coat.
Okay.
40,000 is,
Get by.
yeah, just a new surface.
Mhm.
Cracks will be there the next day.
I do know that my thinking is, I think I would like those removed completely.
I wouldn't have a problem with
They've been on the radar for a long time now.
So if you take the 40 out, you have to leave 10 in for the removal,
Yeah, probably.
you know? Or is that something we'll deal with down the road? Because if they're dangerous, I don't want people trying to play on dangerous surfaces. They need to be probably padlocked.
Well, now, surface for playing versus just a surface, if they were undesignated, dedesignated, where the word is tennis courts, you throw a couple picnic tables out there and say that's where the fire department has the parade. I mean, you know, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think you have to take it out, as long as people know that's not a tennis court anymore. You take down the nets, you take, you know,
The fence.
yeah, I mean, right?
I just don't want it
It's
to look
just
like
a
hell.
concrete
I
surface,
agree,
you know.
and then I think we can go back to if we're gonna have, if it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a duck, so if it looks like a tennis court, it's always a tennis court, so you know,
And to
Just
be
trying to
respectful
save
to
it.
the people that live right next to it. too,
yeah,
you know,
and I think it's lots we can sell,
Mhm.
some, I mean, but I don't wanna be the lone soldier here, I just know that for years I've heard about these things.
No, I agree with you.
Well,
I don't think it's a
Well,
horrible.
right now, one of
idea.
the problems that, and I don't wanna ask the fire chief to talk, cause I don't wanna get in trouble. One of the problems,
No, you can ask him a
one of the
question.
problems with that location is they can't have a lot of parking for meetings and whatnot. You know, it looks like a parking lot to me, so, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not rated for vehicles.
well, I think, I mean, I haven't heard really anybody say they're unsafe at this point.
I have trip hazards, I've heard.
They do have those?
I've heard trip hazards before.
Until you have a plan to remove them, I think you need to maintain them in a safe manner, whether that's a $40,000 fix or a $10,000 fix. I think that's what you need to do, because there is no plan to remove them, and we're just dealing with the budget today.
I don't know what it would, I'd have to,
Well, if there's a trip
would
hazard,
have
a
to
$40,000
determine what it would
fix
take
ain't gonna fix
to tear them out.
What's that?
I don't know what it would take to tear them out.
I
mean,
can't
there's
believe that
concrete-
much, I can't believe that much.
Can our guys do that one?
There's a concrete wall around, two sides of it.
But like someone else says, you can't create a nuisance either, so if you're gonna tear them out, you have to have a plan to at least make it a green space, reseed it, do something other than just tear them out.
So
I
my
just-
question stands, which is if I take out the 40,000 and give the 40,000 in the positive to Jacob, is that good enough for now? Or do we have to leave some of it in to deal with the removal of the 40,000?
Well, here's why, I can't answer that because I don't know, it gets back to I don't know what it would take to take it out.
Sure.
Could Scott